use God to defeat the giant. It brings me to remembrance of an old story my godfather used to tell about a little boy and a dad. They're going down the road and they were in a horse and carriage and this big rock was in the middle of the road. And the dad looked at the son and said, son, I need you to move that rock. And he said, I want you to utilize all your strength to do it so we can keep on going. He said, all right, Daddy. Well, the little boy jumped out of that carriage and then he jumped out of that wagon, got out there, he dug around the rock a little bit and started to push on the rock. Rock didn't budge. Came back to the wagon, grabbed the hammer, and started to beat on the rock. The rock didn't crack. He started jumping on top of the rock, trying to shake it so he could try to push it or hit it out of the way. The rock didn't budge. That young boy sat out there for I don't know how many hours, beating and kicking and fussing and cussing over this rock while his dad sat in the wagon waiting and said, son, are you done yet? He says, no, Daddy, I'm going to move this rock. It's the last thing I do. So he kept on going and kept on going. Kept on doing stuff that hadn't helped him in the last 2 or 3 hours. He kept on hitting that rock, kept on cussing the rock, kept on kicking and pushing and moving. Never worked. Next thing you know, he comes back to his father, beat up and tired and exhausted. And he looked at his dad and said, Daddy, I did what you told me to do. Daddy, I put everything I had in it, Daddy. Daddy, I beat the rock, I kicked the rock, I even tried cussing the rock out. I dug around the rock. I tried everything I know, Daddy. I used all my strength to move that rock. And that old rock is still won't budge, Daddy. I just don't know what else I can do. He said, son, first of all, you made your mistake. He said, what's that? He said, you went out and you expired all but little strength you thought you had and doing things that didn't move anything. You did things that really were worthless and weren't going to move that rock in the first place. He said, huh? He said, you kicked it, it didn't work, but you kept on kicking it. He said, you tried to push it. It didn't work the first time, the second time, but you kept on trying to push it, knowing it wasn't going nowhere. He said, you even stood back a couple of times and you started trying to cuss that rock, like the rock was going to actually listen to you cussing it and move. He said, that didn't work either. He said, but you kept on trying to do that. But one thing you never did that you could have done. He said, what's that, Daddy? You never asked me to help. You never asked me to help you. So he said, let's get on up and take care of this rock. Got out there, dug under, put a stick on it, pushed up, hit it with a little hammer. The rock shattered in a matter of seconds. They were able to pull a piece out of the way and move on through. Sometimes, church, the reason you can't move giants or rocks out of your way is because you never stop to ask God to help you. Right. You need to ask God to help you. You remember his body and your relationship had been going through with God, you need to ask him to help you. If you remember you find yourself in sin, ask God to forgive you. If you not remember, I implore you, beg, would you please become by hearing his word, believing him with all your heart, repenting of your sins, confessing with you to Christ, and be baptized into Christ for the remission of your sins. And you do so loud together.